Alright, so case study chapter 3 by Smith Zumwalt. So in this case study, it just talked about how Sears, for 40 years, they were one of the most popular major retail stores after World War II, but since it has shown a major decline in sales. Due to its outdated merchandise and undesirable locations, Sears has built a reputation that it is trying to break with technology systems. Sears has spent billions of dollars trying to transform itself into a convenient, up-to-date store that can compete with other discount and specialty stores. So, analyze Sears using the competitive forces and value chains models. What are Sears' strengths, weaknesses? So, when I looked at the competitive forces and value chains, I just tried to compare some of the other some of its competitors, and it actually offered in-store pickup 6 years before Walmart and 10 years before Target. But even with a lot of the money that they spent on the new information technology and stuff, it still had very high operating cost in comparison with its competitors. But some of its strengths were they had an extensive customer database, and they had a really good system, like reward system for its customers, but it had a lot of weaknesses, such as a bad reputation. So it was seen as all of the merchandise was seen as outdated and undesirable, and the locations were also undesirable. They had very high cost structure and high operating costs. What was the problem facing Sears? What management, organization, and technology factors contributed to this problem? So the problem with Sears was Sears' inability to compete with the large discount stores and competitively priced specialty retailers. And in the case study, it said deteriorating store networks and brand image that does not resonate with today's consumers. So they weren't really selling what the consumers wanted, and the image wasn't ideal. Under new management in 1993, Sears attempted to use technology to meet customer needs, but this did not work. Operating costs were too high and it was already falling behind. So it was too late. The problem was, too late in comparison to some of the competitors. They acted too late. Organization and store location also contributed to this problem. The organization with the new big data management was too late to save their reputation, and like I said earlier, the store location was just not ideal and it was undesirable. What solution did Sears select? What was the role of technology in this solution? So they tried a few different things to bring them back to their profit that they saw for so long. And in 1993, they had the new point of sales terminals, started their customer loyalty program, and then in 2011 they had some technological advances such as iPad for workers, to find what was in stock. But then now, a few years ago, you can view items online and reserve them to try on in the store. Digital displays for engaging customers, so customers can see the reviews and things like that, and vehicle pickup and quicker delivery. So they're just trying to use technology to make it easier on the consumers. And they also got more technology in the store, so they were selling more smart home devices. And they just wanted to use technology to keep up with the competitors, meet the customers' needs, and attract customers. How effective was the solution selected by Sears? Explain. Well, the solution has shown some positive feedback from customers, but overall it is not changing what seems to be the fate of Sears. So the net loss in the last 5 years is $8 billion. And so it wasn't very effective because the outdated and undesirable merchandising image they've created over the years can't just be broken in a short period of time. And the reputation is set by so many of the consumers. Describe the impact of the internet on each of the 5 competitive forces. So the internet creates another way for traditional competitors to find an advantage. So for example, online shopping and reviews and things like that. And with the internet, it's easier for people to gain knowledge on new market on the new market and how to enter the marketplace. It is much easier for consumers to find substitute products and services very quickly on the internet at a better price. So it's just like at the click of the button, they could find a substitute. Um, Businesses can advertise and appeal to customers on the internet, and businesses can find and deal with multiple suppliers easier on the internet, and it's better if a business has multiple suppliers. What are the main factors that mediate the relationship between IT and organizations, and that managers need to take into account when developing new information systems? So it's very important that an organization's business goals align with the information technology. So some of the main factors are: what is the structure of the industry in which the firm is located? So an example would be, finding the competitive forces in the industry. What are the business firm and industry value chains for this particular firm? An example would be a business getting the most profit out of the system's advantages and getting the most of it. And have we aligned the IT with our business strategy and goals? And that's just measuring success in how the goals are being met. So a question to consider is, why did Kmart and Sears merge? So Kmart was going out of business, and to kind of get the best of both, the stores merged so that both companies could benefit from each other. So Sears wanted to get out of the malls and get, some of the independent Kmart locations. But according to CNN, for consumers, the deal means being able to get appliances and other hard goods at Kmart and more clothing at Sears, and could mean lower prices at the two chains as the two chains try to compete. So they just thought it would be a way to kind of boost their profits and get some other advantages. And another question is, why did the merging with Kmart in 2005 cause a lot more damage? And the reputation was already very negative for Sears. And according to USA Today, the 131-year-old company is seen as outdated, failing to keep up with the changing tastes and habits of shoppers. So basically, the reputation they were trying to change, they weren't able to by merging these two stores.